you're looking to do damage, this beam weapon seems to be, at least for my fighting style, the beam weapon right here that I'm using now seems to be the best bet. Disadvantages to doing D-scan all the time is it's basically just shining a beam in everybody's eyes, letting you know that you're here. So if you're trying to get in all stealthy like, that's not going to happen if you're D-scanning all the time. I tend to D-scan every 500 light seconds. At least when I'm going to a very far away location like this one. There's lots of other guys that really get into like the nitty gritty of like this, just really big minutia. I guess I think of myself more as playing this the same way I would do this if I was in this universe. You know, I can't I can't rebuild the engine in my car, so the car is a thing I use to go from A to B. I'd treat my spaceship the exact same freaking way, more or less, in terms of how much detail I want to know. When I'm looking at parts, I'm thinking, you know, more, better, faster. And I guess if I do a lot of number crunching, that would be something I could figure out. But you really don't know what you're going to get until you take it for a test drive and see what happens. What's funny is as I've gotten closer to Sol, and I'm not close to Sol at all. I'm only, you know, a handful of jumps away from where I started off, which was Ross 210, right in the Ross 210 neighborhood. The distance from the star to the stations seems to get longer and longer. I mean, it goes from being the first thing that's in orbit around that particular sun or that particular body to being like this, like 20,000 light seconds away from where you need to be. So it's a huge pain in the ass, frankly. We got a target coming up behind me. Well, I guess he went past me. In terms of just other really dumb stuff, let me think what else. Yeah, I mean, landing is what you're going to do all the time, every time. So if that's what's frustrating you, and I'll tell you, that was the very first thing that I encountered when I played this game. I watched the tutorial video and felt like I had a pretty good handle on what needed to happen. The first thing was not figuring out how to jump out of Super Cruise to get back where I needed to be. So, in order to get to what I wanted to get to so that I could land on it. So that was problem number one. Encountered that within the first 10-15 minutes of getting into the game. And turned it off and went back to doing something else. Came back to it a couple of weeks later and just did a quick Google, figured out what the hell I was doing wrong, and then I couldn't land effectively. It would take me a million tries. So we're gonna go ahead and I don't think I told you everything I probably should have told you about landing too. So let's talk a little bit about that. So you'll notice that there's a number associated with where you're supposed to land, and it's usually at the end where you should face it. In other words, when you're landing, the number should be in front of the nose of your ship. Sometimes, for whatever reason, and as you get close, you should see that different display, the landing display that gives you the sort of target, the crosshair of where you need to land your ship. I've had it happen numerous times where that doesn't even appear. You're where they told you to go. You're at the pad they told you to go to. You've got your gear down, but you never see that landing target. And even if you do manage to get yourself in the exact right spot, it doesn't matter. It doesn't grok that you're trying to land. In that case, you need to communicate with that station again, and you need to cancel your landing request. And there you can see the contrails above, so you can see that it's rotating with just above us, just at the top is where folks are going in. Anyway, and then you need to land again. Here's the problem. When you do that, for whatever reason, it seems to reverse the direction it expects you to be facing when you land. So in other words, instead of facing the number of your landing pad, you need to have that landing pad at your ass. The other way to think of it is the landing reticle is always correct, and the butt of your aircraft should be facing you in the miniature display of the landing reticle. If the nose of your aircraft is facing you in the landing reticle, you're facing the wrong way. And I guess I should tell these guys I'd like to land, because they get really upset when I try to land without doing that first. Alright, so pad 34.
Scan detected.
Go ahead and put my gear down. Pad 34. Pad 34. There's the pad. Alright, so let's get this showing. Alright, I'm heading down. You have to get within a certain range for it to show up. Alright, so there it is. Now, you see how the butt of my aircraft is facing me? If you've gotten yourself into one of those scenarios where it's screwed up, and it can happen here too, if you exit and then for some strange reason decide you need to land again, oh, I forgot to refuel, or I've got to pick up more of this or that, or whatever, when you then try to land again, it'll probably be backwards. But you'll see that it's backwards. You'll be approaching it the way you think you're supposed to, where this tower is in front of you and the number is at your face, but the front of your aircraft will appear to be facing you in that lower target display, if you know what I mean.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
So that smaller display is always right. So for the purposes of landing, ignore what you may see directly in front of you. What you want to look at is the miniature landing display, and if the butt of your aircraft is facing you, then you're facing the correct way to land correctly, right? Okay. Let's see if we've got any money. I don't think we did anything. Yeah, here's a little. $604. That's good for nothing. Bulletin boards. Let's see what there is. Great. I'm not interested in stealing crap. Contacts. I don't think I get any money for Bubkiss because none of those guys were worth anything. Actual repairs. See, notice wear and tear is still there. Outfitting. Let's see what they offer here. It gets very frustrating. Ooh, frame shift. I'd love to update my frame shift, but I'm not going to have enough money. I need 160 grand. God dang it. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Maximum fuel per jump. Holy moly. If I were to get this, I could jump 22. Oh, I want that so bad. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. What else is in this? Is there anything in this sector in terms of... Wow. See, but here's what I find is that oftentimes when you find a place like Bootport that's got a great thing you want, you go out, you earn the money, you come back, and they don't have it anymore. So it's pretty much a luck thing, which is kind of a pain in the butt. And I hate these ones where I have to go get something. Let's go ahead and see where we might want to jump to next and see what we can find here. Okay, let's see. Look at all that. Holy free holies. So much stuff. All right, so let's see if we can't find a profitable set of runs going on here between LHS 262 and Taliesin, Tail Sin, whatever the heck that is. What other ships do they have here? Anything sexy? Whoa, an Anaconda. Okay, yeah. So as soon as I've got that 147 million credits burning a hole in my pocket, I'll just rush right back here. Nice Viper, Sidewinder, Eagle, my lovely hauler, Type 6 transporter. How many hard points does that thing have? 2 small hard points. It's a heavy Anaconda. Jeez. Okay. And then there's my Eagle back at Chamaku, which is real close to where I started, 73 light years away. Anything else I need? No. So let's go ahead and get out of here. I'm not sure how useful it is to go back to Earth. It seems like the goal of the week for a lot of other folks who post.
Ship release.
I have no idea why it does that sometimes. It's really weird. I'm not real sure what the deal is with commands that the ship seems to remember from when you landed. I mean, so I'm constantly hitting the 0 button to have 0 throttle, but every once in a while it's as if it's inheriting or remembering a command to go left, right, sideways, or something at the point maybe when you left it off, but frankly.
Frameshift drive charging.
I think ultimately what I'm looking to do is, I'm kind of doing the weird little exploration thing here, but kind of doing the cargo thing, and what I'd like to do is rack up $1 million or $2 million in terms of credits, and then just deck my Eagle out and travel around and get my Eagle decked out as much as humanly possible. And then go bounty hunting. You'll see when you go to different ports that some of the biggest paychecks are for bounties. 110,000, 150,000. I mean, if you were to rack up one of those with each one of your gaming sessions, you know, that's pretty impressive. That's a pretty awesome bit of work. Dunbar platform is not too far away. Let's go ahead and just make that our set destination. Excuse me. But let's also do a little scan here. There we go. 10 new objects. You gotta love that. And it's just, all you do is wait those few seconds. Now, if you want to get even more money, you go to all the unexplored stuff. What happened? There we go. You go to all the unexplored stuff. It's probably going to be behind the sun for me, but let's see. Nope. Oh, it's a different explored thing. Oh, no, it's not. All right. It lets you, the more you explore, the more money you make for each thing. So if I convert each one of these unexplored things into an explored thing, then I get more money from the cartographers when the time comes for that. Scanning can take a little while. Sometimes I'll actually stop. But you can see I'm still not even close enough to start